February 24th. Thanks for joining us on Kcal News at 5 a.m. I'm Chris Holmstrom.
And I'm Amanda Starantino in for Kalina Estrinos. Here are some of the major headlines we are following.
Better to do something ahead of time than wait until the last second and not be able to do anything about it.
In burn zones, even a little rain can cause some big damage. The preps for this weekend's wet weather.
It's just a giant load off your shoulders.
People evacuated from the Hughes fire get to come home. The relief and the stress from weeks of fire danger.
And I look forward to being there on the tarmac to thank the president, welcome him.
And hoping for cooperation, Governor Newsom prepares to greet President Trump as he visits the Kcal fire devastation. But first, let's take a look at your next weather with Amber Lee, because rain forecast.
Yeah, believe it or not, we went from really hot and dry and windy conditions, and now we're gearing up for a big change in our weather pattern. Today's the day where you're going to feel the difference. That cooling trend begins, so you can see temperatures are going to be in the low 70s. So we're getting a little closer to where we should be this time of year for downtown LA. Normally we should be in the upper 60s. Here's a look. We still have these gusty Santa Ana winds, and it's still really dry outside. So this is why those red flag warnings continue, but the winds are not quite as strong as what we saw this time yesterday. So we do have gusts anywhere from 23 miles per hour for Santa Clarita to 27 for Simi Valley. And then as you head out the door, our wind sheltered areas are still dealing with freeze warnings in areas like the Antelope Valley. You could see below freezing here in the 20s. And then because we do have those gusty winds, Santa Clarita and Simi Valley and Malibu remain in the 50s this morning, but we have mid 40s for Claremont. Here's a look at what we're watching for. So with the cooling trend, red flag warnings expiring later today, the winds begin to shift as we head toward the afternoon. Those winds go from offshore to more of a sea breeze fashion, and that's what's going to help cool things down. And we're gearing up for rain and mountain snow to move in starting tomorrow. I'll have your hour by hour next weather update for you coming up to let you know when the rain will exactly be moving in. Back to you.
Amber, thank you so much. Let's take a look at our roads on this Friday morning. We're going to start with a crash on the westbound 210 to the southbound 215. The transition is blocked there. We'll keep an eye on that for you of how it affects your morning commute. Overall, though, in the IE, looking pretty good. Smooth sailing for you. We are watching a big rig fire on the southbound 15 at Nichols Road. That is on the right shoulder right now. Other lanes are open. Looking in the Los Angeles area, a lot of green there for you. It's a little bit of a slowdown for a crash on the eastbound 134 at Forest Lawn. The right lane is blocked there. And we are still following a brush fire on the northbound 405 at Burbank Boulevard. The right lane blocked as they battle that.
Well, President Trump will travel to Southern California today to survey the wildfire damage. This morning, firefighters, they seem to be getting the upper hand on most of the wildfires.
Yeah, the Palisades fire has now scorched more than 23,000 acres and is 75% contained. So the new worry for those whose homes survived is that approaching rain. Kcal News reporter Kara Finstrom is live on Pacific Palisades, where one family's home survived the fire, only to be destroyed by a landslide. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And this is exactly, the concern for these families. They've already been through so much. The home behind us here, as you mentioned, it did survive that initial fire, only to be destroyed by water that was used to fight the ongoing blazes. We do know specialized state teams, they are being sent in to help and get communities like this one ready. Take a look. Lots of equipment has also arrived for those teams. We're talking K-rails, tarps, other items. They are all on hand at the Santa Monica Airport. Cooler temperatures, some rainfall clearly needed, but there is a slight chance of thunderstorms, and the worry is if one of those parks over a burn area, it could cause major damage. So the state has also sent in teams of geologists to assess burn areas, and they are working to prevent toxic runoff from entering waterways by installing physical filtration barriers. We did speak with one man here in Pacific Palisades who says the back of his home is most at risk because the land is steep and charred.
Wind is the enemy when it comes to fire, and wind is the enemy when it comes to rain, because when you put tarps down, they become giant parachutes, and it takes a lot of weight to hold them down, and it's really difficult to manage.
And the governor was here yesterday talking about the aid, lots of different forms of it coming in, and all the preparations that are being made. Local communities as well being really stacked up with lots of sandbags that locals who aren't in these really ravaged homes already can shore up around any low-lying areas to better protect themselves as well. But if anyone is in an area where they feel they are put at risk when these rains come down, they are urged to leave. Back to you.